Paragon version 40 update is going to be huge. It's going to bring us to the new age, and also alongside that, in that update, it's going to consist of card reworks that will be bringing in the new mechanic, Spell Vamp, into the card mechanics. We've seen this before. We're going to describe what it is within the Paragon experience and how you can utilize it in Paragon. Everyone's hoping for it to be completely broken. Let's see what happens. Welcome, mates. I'm Bloodthirsty Lord, but you can call me Lordy, and today we are back on Paragon once again. You see more Lieutenant Balcard gameplay in the background. Pretty much works well with this video because we're talking about mages and how the Spell Vamp works. So the Lieutenant Balcard gameplay in the background should work out perfectly, but obviously that is not the main topic. The topics are the ones that we discussed at the very start of this video. But before we get into those topics, make sure you smash that like button. Let's try to get 200 likes on this video. The last video passed like 250 likes. The support has been unreal, so let's keep that going. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Not long ago on the Paragon Facebook page, they did release a new image, or pretty much a post over there, saying some very interesting information that was not noticed anywhere else except for Instagram. So if you follow Paragon on Instagram and Facebook, you have noticed about this, but majority of people don't, so that's why we're going to try to bring it up and talk about it, because there's one interesting topic, and the caption of this post did say, what do Spell Vamp and the version 40 update have in common? They are ushering in a new age on 5 of the 16th, or pretty much the 16th of May. There's also an image attached to this, which we'll talk about very soon, but the one part about this is the hashtag a new age. That is pretty much the massive balance updates they're going to start doing from now on, and pretty much every time you go into one of those massive updates, the game is going to feel different and not the same as before. So that's what you're going to expect, and that will be out on 16th of May. So keep an eye out for that, because that date is going to be bloody insane, and if you have crap internet like myself, it's going to take forever to download whatever is coming in version 40, because I feel like there's going to be quite a bit. And then obviously version 40 update and Spell Vamp. That is when Spell Vamp is going to be introduced into the card mechanics. Due to the fact there's an image on screen right now that showcases 5 cards, and these cards can be randomly picked, or they actually are the cards that will get adjusted in version 40. And these cards are Hex of the Devastator, Shadow Scroll, Death Nail, Seek and Destroy, and Spear of the Rift Hunter. Majority of these cards are corruption cards, except for the one universal card being Spear of the Rift Hunter, which is a crit and power or AK damage card within Paragon. And I didn't expect Spear of the Rift Hunter to change. All the other cards seem like they needed changes, because I've never used majority of those cards. I've neglected those cards, and I'm guessing majority of people have neglected them as well, so giving them an interesting mechanic, which is Spell Vamp, will guarantee an increase on those cards being played within Paragon. And that is how it was officially sparked of the idea of Spell Vamp on cards. And obviously, the heroes that are going to get the most benefit out of these cards are the people that fall into the mage role, because mage heroes love using their spells, so using Spell Vamp cards is going to help them quite a bit. And I've talked about Spell Vamp for the last 2 minutes and 58 seconds. I'm guessing you guys don't know what Spell Vamp is, so we're going to explain that as well within this video. So I bet you've seen someone play in the mid lane as a caster while using cards that provide him with lifesteal, which doesn't make sense, especially when they're a caster that focus using their abilities, not their basic attacks. Yeah, that is a very awkward situation to witness, but there's a reason why. It's pretty much misunderstood that lifesteal does work on everything that you use in your kit. So if you're able to dose and damage, you're able to gain lifesteal back. That's not how it works. Lifesteal is only used on basic attacks. So heroes that are pretty much prime examples within the lifesteal mechanics are heroes that fall into the carry role within the safe lane carry position, or even the jungle, because lifesteal works really well with them. If they're able to use their base attacks as the most consistent damage within their kit, every time they hit a creature, enemy unit, or enemy hero, they are gaining back a flat amount of lifesteal, pretty much gaining health back every time they're dosing out damage. That is the main idea of lifesteal, and it only works on basic attacks. Then we move on to the possible idea of abilities giving back health, or pretty much gaining lifesteal properties. That is what Spell Vamp is. So if you're a caster or a mage that falls into like a mid lane role, being the prime example, if you do any damage with your abilities, say if you're playing Gideon and you have one of these cards that I did mention not long ago, which is like Seek and Destroy, for example, if you have one of those cards, you're able to gain health back, or lifesteal back, or Spell Vamp in this case, throughout your abilities. Whenever you're able to dose damage on enemy unit with your ability, once it's used, you gain a certain health back. That is the Spell Vamp mechanic. However, the Spell Vamp mechanic is going to work. It could be percentage based, and you gain health back depending on the percentage, or Spell Vamp back, or it could be a flat amount like lifesteal. That is like prime example that we have at this current moment. And Spell Vamp is already in the game. We've seen it before. 2 heroes have it already. Quang, which has a passive which provides him lifesteal as it's described within the ability, pretty much being Spell Vamp, and also counters with her passive. Every time she's killed the enemy unit, she gains a lifesteal back, or lifesteal properties on one of her abilities as the ability passive. Pretty much Spell Vamp. It's just been described as lifesteal. I feel like they're going to change what the description is to spell vamp later on once this has been released into the game, but due to the fact that these cards can be used on any hero. So another example, Gideon doesn't have any lifesteal or even spell vamp mechanics on his kit, or pretty much made up in his kit. But if you're able to use these cards, you're able to gain the properties of spell vamp, which will give you health back every time you dose out damage towards the enemy with your abilities. And that is a great mechanic to bring to Paragon. This is going to make the builds go a lot more insane for a mage role, and obviously you have more options to pick instead of just being health, damage, and that's pretty much it with some actives here and there. Now you have spell vamp to take into account if you want to use that. And I think the main goal of spell vamp is obviously to keep the hero sustained within a fight. Say if you're playing Gideon and you're going for that massive ultimate and you have 5 people in your ultimate and you have your support Decker that's caged them in. All that damage, every time it ticks, you're gaining spell vamp back if you have spell vamp cards within your build, and pretty much they won't be able to kill you as quick as compared to before when you have no spell vamp properties within your kit. So majority of the time if you do take spell vamp, you're sacrificing ability pen, damage, or any little factor that you take into account in your kit. Originally, you're sacrificing that for able to gain health back through your abilities, which isn't that bad. Some heroes will utilize this more than others. Obviously heroes that fall into the caster role or mage role, but depending on what the hero is used for, I'm saying like heroes with lower cooldowns, the mage and caster characters within the game will love spell vamp. That's one thing to take into account. Sadly, we don't have the information for the card reworks yet, what the card's going to change into. We obviously know there's going to be spell vamp on those cards. That's pretty much what's happening as the upcoming card reworks within version 40. But we don't know what the exact stats are on each card, because obviously they're going to have interesting properties. One will have spell vamp and maybe ability pen, then the other card will have spell vamp and damage, and so on and so on. So pretty much you'll be able to get a card that you've chosen from those 5 cards or more, depending on how many cards they're going to pull spell vamp on. You choose that, and you'll have upgrades on that card that provide spell vamp as well. Pretty much how like lifesteal works in this current moment within version 39. The same idea, you get a lifesteal card, you have lifesteal upgrades. Same thing with spell vamp in version 40. So that is my understanding of spell vamp at this current moment. Other people are talking about spell burn, which I don't think is going to happen. Spell burn is pretty much the idea of mana draining through your cards towards enemy targets. Pretty much like Lieutenant Balka's Void during ability, which I don't think is going to happen. So the idea of that coming up, when people have been asking me about that spell burn, I don't think it's going to happen at all. But back to the topic of spell vamp, that is all the knowledge I had from other MOBA experiences, like League of Legends, and also so on and so on. I don't want to describe the list because there's so many MOBAs I've played, and I feel like I've wasted a lot of time on those MOBAs, aka Heroes of Storm, but it doesn't matter. We're just having fun and obviously having a swell time while playing games. That has always been the main idea on this channel. Obviously this video is very, very serious because we're talking about stats, numbers, cards, information that will be crucial to the game experience within Paragon, and I can't wait to see what is next within Paragon. If we keep having these massive updates every 9 weeks, the game is going to be completely fun and it won't get as boring as before, because sometimes you'll wait for this massive update and it'll come in like 6 months after. That's an exaggeration, but that's how it feels. It's pretty much like you trying to climb a mountain. As you're climbing it, you want to go to the very top to have that amazing sight, but instead of that happening quick, you have this pack or this backpack full of rocks, which is weighing like 10 or 20 kilos, and obviously you have to just climb the mountain with that, and it takes you longer time period to get there than before, so you don't have that excitement once you get up there. It's just like, okay, I see now. But before, when you're in that moment trying to get to the point, and once you get there, you have that full excitement of being there, and you truly are able to witness something amazing. Same thing within Paragon, and I can't wait for Paragon to reach that stage, because it will make the game more enjoyable, and obviously more fun, and I feel like we're stepping into that direction, which is obviously a great thing. Yeah, mates, whatever just happened just a couple of seconds ago, I just rambled, and it sounds pretty good, so we'll keep that in the commentary. But mates, as always, tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below, because I want to know what you think about these card reworks that will be happening in the future. Are you devastated to see some of the cards that you always use within Paragon get a rework, aka Spirit of the Rift Hunt? I feel like that card's been used quite a bit, and it's sad to see that change, if it does change, since it's pretty much showcased within that image. If it does, it's gonna be sad, but either way, hopefully stepping to a better future. And what hero will you play with spell vamp cards or spell vamp upgrades on your cards in Paragon? I feel like there's going to be a lot, so tell me your mage or caster or pretty much any hero that you will desire to play that type of mechanics or use those type of mechanics throughout your cards in Paragon. Tell me your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. So mates, if you did enjoy this video, show us by smashing that like button. Let's try to get 200 likes on this video. It makes me see more Paragon gaming content and gaming content in general on my channel. All you have to do is share this with your friends and hit the subscribe button to become a mate today. That is all for this video. Oh, time's go, but don't you worry. Come back very soon. Hey, Dance Boys, because you ain't seen nothing yet. So version 40, Spell Vamp. Okay, I like that idea. It's going to be really fun to see how it works on certain heroes that fall into the caster role. But also I've been hearing rumors that they're going to make Kallari easier, and the idea of making Kallari easier, they're going to make Crippling Dagger a lock-on ability. Yeah. No, please, don't do that. Please, Epic Games and Paragon team, don't do that. That's going to ruin so much within Kallari's satisfaction when gaining kills. It feels like I'm playing Hanzo from Overwatch. Every time I throw that Crippling Dagger and I get that last second or max range kill. It's just amazing. So please don't remove that and don't make that a lock-on ability. So please don't change that at all.